What is up, everybody? Escape211 here, and we got another video. I was actually only going to put out one, but I had to take a break on my lunch to check it out because we got the new event. Now, they didn't do any crazy fanfare, which I was surprised by, but not even anything noted here in the inbox, which is crazy. You're doing an event, dropping a new weapon, didn't have anything, but we do have the new crate option on the side, and right away, yeah, you can see it. You'll see we have the Disc Launcher 8 available to us. And if you click on details, you can look at it here. Actually, the stats overall look good. Reload speed, range, all that kind of stuff. All of it looks good. The damage per magazine is low, but we're going to talk a little bit about that later. But let's look at the other stuff in here. So we got these big chunks of blueprints. Then we got keys, A-coins, and credits. Overall, this is pretty decent, especially for newer players of the game. And if we look at the different options here, yeah, the chance of getting the disc launcher is quite low, 1.2%. That's really low. High for getting those Killshot and Panther ones and the Fortune Keys. Fortune Keys is nice, obviously, for everybody. These two are generally nice for most new players, but long-term players probably won't like this. These are usually the first mechs that people max out. So, yeah, I do think the overall roll on this is pretty good in terms of helping newer players bring themselves up, but bad for long-standing players. So we did get one key, though. We're going to try it. We're going to see what we get. I really just hope I don't get these two uncommon ones here. All right, but let's give it a shot. Here we go. Okay. Oh, 8 coins there. Oh, we're getting the keys. Nice. I will take the keys. That's solid. At least I'm not getting blueprints I don't need. Yeah, not a bad pull. I will say, though, I mean, these events are always tough. This is super gotcha, very much a gambling type thing. And yeah, you can buy stuff, but they say that, you know, you can't keep your tokens for the end of the event. So if you buy them or you plan to use them, of course, use them this week before the event ends. You don't get to keep them. I'm assuming they're doing other legs of this event after this week, because this is only the Disc Launcher 8 and it has higher calibers. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be worth spending money for anybody. That's my whole point, I guess, because this is so gotcha heavy and because this will end up in the progress path later. Spending just seems out of the question to me. Yeah, actually, let's look at our inventory. I wanted to see if not only the disc launcher's in here, but the missile racks aren't. The other javelin racks aren't. Okay, I don't know when we're going to get those. Obviously, we're not getting here. I don't know if they'll try to throw them in other legs of this event if they do it. I'm assuming they're doing other things of this event. Even that wasn't clear. But that all said, let's go back. Let's look at the disc launcher and talk about that, because people want to know, is this worth getting? Frankly, I think this is a decent weapon, but I don't think it is crazy. I mean, when you think of long-term, 8 energy weapons, period, tend to fall off. Even one of the best ones, the Missile Rack 8, is still great, but end game, it is not super good. You see a lot less long arm 8s. You see less of the carbine 8s when you get into top end game. So even this weapon being a decent weapon from what I've seen doesn't seem like it's amazing. The damage when you first get it, especially if you're a high-end player, is going to seem pretty bad. It's going to seem pretty pitiful. Once you max it out, it'll look decent, but it's decent for an 8 energy weapon. And what's cool about this, actually, from what I've seen, is that you can get a decent amount of side shots in with this weapon. Just because of the nature of how it works, because it curves, I've seen more side shot, like red text from the damage spikes on it. So even though the damage seems low, I think that helps to even out. You don't have crits like you would with the javelin racks, which in some ways I think is better. I think once we do have javelin rack 8s, that may perform better than these. I don't know for sure, though. But it's hard to really compare the two. I think that jabs have more overall potential because of the less exposure, and because all your damage is being done right away. This is more like long-term damage. But I think it's an interesting weapon, and I think once the higher calibers come into play, there's going to be potential there. But in any case, I still don't think it's worth spending money on this gotcha stuff. They are trying to force you into that. I don't think it's worth it. It's not something I'm going to do. I mean, you look at this, you will get more free pulls from these two events that are here right now, the Battleathon and the Development Derby. I'm sure they're going to have more later on in the week that are going to allow you to get some free pulls in. Even if you aren't going to get it, even with the free pulls, once this event stuff is over, I don't know if it's going to be for this week or the whole event as a whole. It's going to end up going in the progress path. And it's going to be better, like resources, cost-wise, even if you spend money to buy it there, than it is to try and get it in the pulls. This is very gotcha, very casino gambling heavy stuff. I don't like it. I don't think it's something anyone should invest into. I really hope this isn't a sign of things to come and it gets worse, where events are longer and then it's multiple crates and that kind of stuff. People have talked about that being the case with War Robots. I really don't want to see that here. That's bad news. That's really stuff I don't want. So I hope that gets better. But those are my initial thoughts on that. I don't have the weapon, so it's hard for me to say. I still think, that's where I stand. But let me know your thoughts, and we'll see you out there on the battlefield.